Well,
weeks of winter?
it's kind of subjective. They did a study, NOAA did, based on the average temperature for March for the whole U.S., not just where the actual groundhog is, and that's how they based it off percentage. But you could go a lot of different ways on what is spring and not spring like. But anyway, Jimmy down in Wisconsin, some prairies, 60% according to that study. So he's much higher than Punxsutawney Phil. But we got definitely winters back in store. We've had a lot of dry, quiet conditions for January. We definitely have snow and some freezing drizzle tonight. Areas that don't see the snow may see mist, drizzle, even flurry activity south of where the alert day conditions are. Messy morning commute for some. That's where the alert would be. But we have a dry Tuesday back to where colder temperatures, but then we have more snow and even more ice potential come Wednesday, so we have an opportunity coming that, and there's one more for the weekend too. Overall, this is where the winter weather advisories are. This is where we expect to see the most accumulation, 2 to potentially maybe 5 in some of these areas, but it's right along I-90 and then further north too, and a band's going to set up, and it's really going to be a narrow band, so if you're in that band, you're going to get some. Outside of it, you won't see much. This evening, we've already seen some mist or some drizzle in some areas given this low deck that really was stubborn to get away, so we didn't get to 50 as we were hoping to because of this cloud cover. But this evening we'll just see a little bit of sprinkles, flurries potential coming through to about 10, 11 p.m. Then you're going to start seeing a little bit of a band probably after midnight, just set right along I-94 to Eau Claire and then all the way just south of Wausau, and that'll continue, but then it'll expand really by 4 to 5 a.m. right during the morning commute. This is where this band will set up. Now it could shift a little bit further north, but it'll be right in this general area and sit here probably through about 10 to 11 a.m. So you can see eventually it starts sagging a little bit further south, but most of the areas south of that are not going to see much in the way of precipitation or north, but this continues through about 10, and then we start seeing it wrap up by noon or even earlier than that, and that's what we're looking at. Temperatures will kind of fall back to near freezing. Tomorrow we'll see a little bit more sun potentially towards the evening hour. Temperatures will get back up into the mid-30s, but by Monday evening you see the north wind begins to pick up. We're starting to clear out. Could set up for some colder temperatures going into Monday night, given that some areas might have some snow cover to go with it. But snow amounts here tonight, not much through about 5 a.m. We're looking just a little bit, starts to pick up by 5 a.m. It's really after 5 a.m. that you start seeing probably the bulk of it, the 2 to 3 inches, potentially 2 to 4 to about noon. Far less as you go to Winona, south of La Crosse areas, probably not seeing much in the anyway. We'll still see some precipitation down here, just won't be much in accumulation. But we still could see some slippery roads because outside of the snow, a little bit of drizzle, freezing drizzle is a possibility, kind of like we had last night. That setup could actually create some slick roads for all areas for tomorrow morning's commute. There's your temperatures. The good news, a lot of areas will get above freezing, so the road conditions in the afternoon for most areas should be good or at least wet, so we're not going to see any type of refreezing too much. But going into Tuesday morning and Tuesday, definitely colder, back to the 20s, to the teens up to the north. If you got snow cover on the ground, it'd probably struggle to get to 20, so we're back to winter there. And we have another opportunity, as I mentioned, for Wednesday. Tuesday's dry, but here's all this coming through. Potentially seeing snow. You got the pink there for ice. Looks like the rain stays south, but we got a mess potentially for Wednesday evening, and going into Wednesday night. So that one we'll have to track too, because that could show some impacts. And not to be outdone, we got one coming on Sunday too with accumulating snow potential for that time too. So we've kind of been dry for January. In fact, we were the driest snowfall on record for La Crosse. I think we're going to start picking it back up a little bit, depending on how these play out. We could have a decent snowpack up to the north by the time we get to this weekend again.
Looking a little busy out there.
It is getting busy.
All right. Thank you, Greg.